2.
Hey. What do you want
See,
from me?
that's why I started off.
Okay, fine. Start it off.
Hey, it's Kyle.
Jesus.
I'm the only good one.
I'm Lucas. Technically, I'd be the only good one because I know how to work this stuff.
I'll just say I'm the second best. I'll let you two fight it out.
Yeah,
Doesn't
and that's
bother
Andy.
me.
That's Andy.
Is that my name?
I suppose.
Alright, I forgot a minute.
Now that we gave it to you.
I'm Andy.
So instead of me saying something like ridiculous, though, we should probably say,
that'll never happen.
we should probably say the name of the podcast, which is OS.
Oh, it's starting with me?
What is that? OS.
OISWM.
WM.
OISWM.
Damn.
OISWM. If that's how you want to pronounce it.
Why can't we just say, oh, it's starting with me? Why do you have to
Because
shorten it?
we need somebody to make a, what do you call it? Like kind of an intro. So then we can add it in there. Be like, da, 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 da. Oh, it's starting with me.
If you want to
Right there.
I'm just gonna clip that.
You're on out. That is the starting.
Dude, I like
I
that.
can't
though.
fucking wait.
Jeez.
Jeez. So yeah, there's normally. Well, I shouldn't say
Yeah.
normally because the last time there were only 3.
Yeah, we kicked you out, and now we kicked Brett out.
Yep.
Soon it'll only be me and Lucas that are always here.
Because we're champs.
Yeah, why is Brett gone? Do you know?
No.
He's just missing
Well,
right now.
he lives far away. Well, not
Yeah.
far away. He lives about 45 minutes away.
It's
Does he
still
really?
a
Well,
enough drive.
yeah. I mean, like, well, he lives farther than I live away.
So you
Who's
guys
further
both
than me?
went to the same school, right?
Yeah, we went to the same high school.
Did he? I don't know if we want to say what school you went to. Do you care?
I don't care. We went to Dyke New Hartford High School in Iowa.
So, like, long story short, well, I used to do teaching at Dyke New Hartford.
Yeah, you
Well,
went to the
Student teaching?
student teaching at New Hartford specifically.
You taught with one of my old coaches.
Yeah, old coaches and your sister.
Oh yeah, my sister was in that
Yeah,
class. My younger sister.
Yeah, kind of.
Well, I mean, in one of the classes that you taught.
She's kind of young.
She was kind of there, kind of not.
Oh, you
just
know.
depending on her mood.
Yeah, fair.
No, I'm just kidding. But so driving to New Hartford is not really that long of a drive. But the thing is those country roads are kind of weird.
Yeah.
Aren't they? So
Cause
did you live closer to New Hartford or Dyke?
I lived closer to New Hartford.
Okay, and what did Brett live closer
Well,
to?
actually, okay, so I lived in New Hartford for a long time.
In
the town of New Hartford, and then we moved out to the country, and we still went to Dyke New Hartford School District, and
Okay.
then we got a little older, and we moved farther into the country.
Yeah.
Which technically I have a Parkersburg address,
Yeah.
but we went to Dyke New Hartford for so long, we open enrolled.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's like an extra $5 or whatever the heck it is.
Yeah, and your mom works.
Yeah, my mom is a teacher's aide there. So we went there the whole time. So I'm actually living technically in Parkersburg. Like I'm that far away.
Mhm.
And Brett is deeper in Parkersburg than I am. And
So he didn't go to Parkersburg?
No, he lives closer to Dyke though.
Than you do.
Than I do, and I live closer to New Hartford than he does.
Why don't you guys just go to Parkersburg?
Because like I said, I went to Dyke New Hartford like my whole life up until the point where we moved out there.
Yeah.
So it's like I was already in, I think junior high, 8th grade. I was probably in 8th grade when we moved out there. So it's
Yeah.
like if I already
Yours
there.
makes sense, I will
Right.
admit.
Well,
But what about Brett?
I think Brett moved as well.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he didn't want to be in Tornado Valley or whatever the fuck
Yeah.
it's called.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Isn't all of Iowa considered in Tornado Valley?
I mean, Waverly actually, I don't think it's ever been really hit by a tornado.
Right?
Well,
Because
yeah. That's,
the way tornadoes work, how I understand it,
How
is-
I understand.
yeah, and keep in mind, I could get my minor in geography right now if I really, really wanted it. So this is really scientific.
okay.
Oh, here we go.
Wait, yeah. Okay. Okay.
So
Not meteorology.
from what I've seen is if your town is kind of in like a concave a little bit, like it's a little bit lower where usually rivers go through, then you're fine. But if you're in like some sort of open land area, then you're kind of fucked. In
Well,
Iowa, at least.
See, there is a tornado alley, and it stretches across the Midwest all the way down to, I think, past Missouri.
Are we in that though?
We might be. I know a good chunk of Iowa is in it. I don't know where it stops.
Okay.
I could imagine once it gets too close to the Mississippi that it does. I just don't know
So,
where it is.
how many times did you guys move when you grew up?
Okay.
0.
Zero times?
What do you mean when I grew up? Like,
Like,
you mean that I can
from-
remember, or like? Since
I guess
was
when you
born?
remember.
Well, from what I remember, I lived in Cedar Falls for a little bit before I went to school. Well, before I went to like an elementary, like a kindergarten
Yeah.
or probably preschool. I went to preschool. No, it wasn't even that. It was probably daycare is what I went to
Oh yeah.
before school, and it was in Cedar Falls. And then we moved to New Hartford, and then we lived in New Hartford for a while. And then we moved to a house outside of New Hartford, like I said, and then we moved to a house even farther out that was in Parkersburg,
Yeah.
like technically over their address line.
Sort of
So-
that 3 or 4 times?
Yep.
Okay.
Are we going to count like after high school? Because after high school.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess I didn't count like
Oh.
to college and then back.
Yeah,
I
then
guess
to
we
this
could
apartment.
We could count until college.
But
I guess.
let's not like. You and I have, been going to UNI for Wartburg how many years? Let's not count every individual time we've moved there.
Yeah.
'Cause
Well,
that's-
we could get into that though.
I did live in Wartburg for a month.
You did live in Wartburg under the radar though.
Yeah,
Like
no, I did not. I
your,
did not.
your
we
taxes
didn't
do not show
we
it.
didn't break a single rule.
Yeah, we didn't break a rule.
Really?
Did we work around the rule?
Yes.
Yes.
So
How does that work out?
So you can't stay in a room for more than 72 hours. So whenever I was gonna hit that 72-hour mark, I just jumped rooms.
Oh really?
Yeah.
For you and I, it's 3 days,
Yeah.
3 full days.
Wait, it's 72 hours? That's the same thing.
Well, I
Um,
think
I thought it was a full week.
is it a week?
I could be wrong.
Yeah, I switched rooms more than I needed to.
Yeah. Well, I think at you and I, it's more of a consent thing than
Right.
it is a like, what the fuck are you doing here kind of thing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, parking is going to be a little bit hard, especially
Yeah.
harder in
I had a
comparison.
great parking spot at work.
Yeah, you didn't have a bad one. In fact, you had a better parking spot than most of the fucking
He had a better
students.
parking spot than I did. but
Yeah, it's
I was
ridiculous.
also too lazy to register for parking.
So
Yeah.
so far after you moved out of your house, you've only lived in 2 places. Well, 3 places. 3 places in technicality,
Yeah.
and that's in your dorm room with
Or on your, I guess
That
pretty much
room-
on your futon.
that room. That roommate was interesting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Good old Alex.
So yeah, he lived with this roommate Alex, he was cool. He was a cool guy.
Yeah, he was a nice dude.
But didn't really take school seriously.
No, he didn't.
And then
Some of us really don't.
yeah, you lived on my like futon in Abe's
second
room.
semester. Well, I was there a lot first semester. Second semester was a little bit better.
Yeah, but you'd
Wasn't
stay
that
there.
about the time that your roommate moved out, though?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, as soon as his roommate moved out, he pretty much just set up shop there.
Yeah, I lowered my bed off the loft, which you guys helped me with.
Yeah, me and Abe went over, I
I
think.
think Ashley was there too.
Yeah.
No, was it Ashley?
Well, maybe. Was it me and you who went over to Ashley's and lowered her loft? Or was it me and Abe?
It was you and Abe.
Holy fuck. That was a fiasco, dude.
I was not there for that.
For the your futon move was a lot easier than hers. And actually, when you asked me to do it, I was kind of like, oh, fuck. But we went over to Ashley's room. And we had to go all the way to, like, her, I don't even know, resident assistant, place. We came back. And then all of a sudden, like, we had this fucking huge hammer because you need the hammer to, like, unlozenge the fucking bed. So it was me with this huge hammer. And pretty much we were putting this, like, hammer who was really headstrong, like, head heavy. I don't really know what the verbiage is for that. And then the back was really light. And it'd fall off every single place we put it. So then people were like worried about their feet and stuff, and finally we moved it. But long story short, it was a lot less of a hassle than working with you.
Well, I mean, we made it kind of easy. There was somebody else with us that made it easy, I think.
I think it was... No, it was Nick.
Was it my brother?
I thought it was Nick. It was your brother.
Wait, was that the night that...
No, it was a
okay.
different time. Or it was Gabrielle, but Gabrielle doesn't usually make that kind of stuff easy. Nothing against her, but she usually makes that kind of stuff hard.
I don't care what it is. Moving any kind of furniture in or out of a dorm sucks.
I know. I
Like,
fucking hate.
We had a friend who she got a couch that was like $20-$30.
Oh yeah.
And it was so cheap. I was just like, that is nice.
That thing smelled like ash.
And I remember we were moving it up, and I literally almost broke my back.
Well,
like
yeah.
the moment we got to that last step, I got it up there, and then it's just like, nope, I'm done.
Yeah.
And then we move it in there. It's like 3 days. I loved the thing. I absolutely loved it. It was one of the best couches I've ever had.
It felt really nice.
Well, I never really had it, but either way, one of the best I've ever enjoyed or sat on. 3 days later, she's just like, "Can you help me move it out?" I'm just like, "No."
Well, the thing is I used to smoke cigarettes quite a bit. Cigarettes, cigars, you name it.
Mm-hmm.
And the couch smelled exactly like it. And at first, I really liked it. But after
at first it was great.
After about 3 days, it gets you so fucking hard. And for them, it was even sooner.
Well, yeah, because they didn't.
Hours of that couch being in there, Gabrielle was mad. It smelled
Oh yeah,
so.
because she was her roommate.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
It smelled so bad.
Well, see, and it wasn't like Gabby was like, "Oh, Megan, I'm mad at you." She's just like, "This needs to go," and Megan was like, "I know."
I know. They both wanted it gone.
Yeah,
it smelled terrible.
Although it was a steal. So you can't be too mad at that kind of
What they ended up
investment.
doing with it? Just buy the dumpster?
Yeah, buy the dumpster
Great.
because we didn't know what to do with it.
I mean, if it was me, I would have just cleaned it off.
You think
Because
so?
cigarette smoke doesn't smell if you clean it.
Right.
Ask Clayton Burkle. Did you know Clayton Burkle's job one summer was his dad owns apartment complexes.
Yep.
So he would go into the apartment complexes for people that smoked, and he would clean the walls and the cigarette grime off the walls. Because if you smoke, there's actually grime that will collect on the corners of your ceiling because that's where the smoke tries to dissipate.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Right.
And it's his stories are pretty disgusting, but yeah.
I'm pretty sure that they said they tried to, because I remember I have a weird nose.
Okay.
I always get way more irritated with the
That's
cleaning smell.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like anything that's overly fruity or overly flowery, it just bugs the crap out of me. If it's
I'm like that too.
If it's normal smells like manure, cigarettes, I'm totally okay with it.
you there.
It was kind of the opposite, where it kind of bugged me for a little bit, but then after being around it for so long.
Every now and again, before I go to work, I'll just do all the dishes, or I'll clean a bathroom or something like that. But if I do both in one day, I'll get kind of a chemical feeling, and I just won't really feel good. I don't know how often you guys get that, but I feel like mine's really fast. And actually, I'd prefer it not being like that because then I'd get more shit done.
See, it gets like that for me at work because we at the restaurant we have to use cleaners to get the windows, or to we have to use certain solutions on our tables at certain hours during the day, or you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So I kind of get what you're saying.
Cleaning a table actually isn't that bad.
It's funny. A lot of people are a lot of people give you shit at a restaurant. They're like, I just watched you use that. Yeah. They're like, just watched you use that towel on 4 different tables. You're not going to wash it in between. I'm like, these towels sit in cleaning solution all day long.
Yeah.
Do you know how often the towel you use to clean your table is soaked in solution?
Yeah.
Not at all.
I know. I used to work at a fucking Mexican restaurant. Those things soaked in cleaning solution.
Yeah, it's all the time.
It's one of those things where that washcloth, even with grime on it, is more clean than anything you normally use.
It's hot, soapy cleaning.
Yeah,
exactly. I mean, it's just...
No, I never really worry about... The only time I worry about, my table when I sit down at a restaurant is if you can tell it isn't already clean.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the only time I worry. If there's anything else on it, if you drop some shit and you eat it off the table, it doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah,
because you're fine.
I don't remember when, but I remember somebody definitely didn't approve of me doing that. I just dropped it on the table. And
was it Tessa?
I have no clue. It was a Mexican.
Just calling people out.
It was one of the first times I ever had. What's the one? Pancheros?
Panchero?
Probably that.
What'd you go with? You probably, if I had to guess.
It had to be freshman year because
Jesus.
Was it freshman?
I didn't know you 2 years ago.
The freshman friends?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say their name just because.
No, just say it. Just say it.
I hate saying names.
He already called somebody out.
Yeah, well, Tessa can deal with it.
Yeah.
I call it Gabriella all the time.
Who's Gabriella?
That's different. You're marrying this woman. She has to deal with it now.
But, I can.
But,
Yeah.
So
call
League today.
him out. Who was it?
Oh, wait,
I think it was Natalie. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
I
I
can
was
see
Natalie.
her doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, this was also the first time I've ever eaten.
You can't
ponchos, so.
hold it against a person because they just don't know.
She might have held it against me up until we got there that it was going to be my first time ever eating ponchos, but that was quickly over with.
Yeah. Keaton was the person that introduced me to ponchos the first time.
See, I fucked it. I wrecked it so hard for myself. Somebody introduced me to poncheros, and I had it literally every day, 5 days straight, and I can't.
God.
I mean, I can almost not do poncheros anymore.
Oh my god.
Maybe once every 2 months I could do it, but
I want to do that right now.
I don't like Mexican food though.
My god.
It ruins my.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Oh man, I
Like,
used to work at a Mexican restaurant.
A day or two after,
Yeah.
I will clog a toilet almost for sure.
Well, I do that anyways.
See, I bought crab meat, and I have garlic Parmesan sauce, and I've got noodles. And I'm gonna make myself some pasta. That's what I'm doing tonight.
Crab meat
Can I have
is
some?
actually.
Probably not, because it's supposed to feed me for 3 to 4 days.
Oh wow.
Crab meat is what did that to me. I used to have crab meat like every fucking day, and oh my god, I can have it like, twice every month, ish. But oh my god, I couldn't do it anymore.
So are you guys saying that when you grew up, you didn't deal with? This is literally probably the meal I had 5 days out of the week for.
Can I guess what it is?
supper.
Yeah,
Yes.
I want to guess too.
I'm gonna guess it is some sort of beef and potatoes with a green.
Okay.
Your guess?
I'm just gonna go all out with the whole spam.
Nothing but spam and white bread.
Spam and that's it out of the can.
It was definitely not that. It was a cut of beef because we grew cows.
Oh,
we raised
man.
cows. It was potatoes because they're cheap as heck and very easy to grow.
Green food.
And then a vegetable of some
Yep.
kind to go with potatoes.
Damn, you were like right on.
Wanna know why? I ate the exact same thing.
No,
Because that's all we had on the farm.
when I was a kid, all I ate was spam. You know
Really?
what spam
Really?
tastes like?
Spam?
Nothing.
No, it tastes like ham, but it tastes like processed ham.
It's a weird fucking food.
really
It's so
fatty?
crazy. What?
Like really fatty?
I don't even know. Like maybe like the best. He explained it right there. Processed ham.
It tastes like processed ham. Like
Oh my god.
You know what I mean?
It's
Like
crazy.
Yeah.
it's like it tastes like processed food with the slightest hint of ham.
Yeah, I'll eat it right now, but like,
man, if you had another option,
I would literally, it'd be something along that line of like, usually it'd be just spam and some green food.
yeah.
But spam's the poor man's meat. Let's just go all of that.
For me.
Like, it's fucking crazy.
See, I would argue that my family actually wasn't that rich, but then again, we also raised the cattle ourselves.
Yeah, I mean,
So it's a slightly different situation.
in that situation, it's different.
Yeah.
But, spam life.
Although, eventually I am going to have to tell my parents that I've been stealing meat from their freezer every time I visit them.
Are you serious?
Oh, don't worry.
Almost every single time I visited
Do they
them.
watch YouTube? Secrets
Oh,
out.
God. No.
Yeah.
They don't
Right
watch.
now,
They
no.
hardly watch YouTube.
So,
Oh, man.
I kind of want to transition this back into where we lived when we grew up.
Okay.
Where did you live when you, from when you were a kid all the way up until now? And then I'll go to me.
In Fredericksburg, Iowa.
I wouldn't
516
say that.
I probably would
That's
cut that shit
that's
out.
Lucas's address.
That's not my address.
Even worse. I'd censor the shit out of that.
Yeah.
Either way, it's been the same exact house. Okay, not the same exact house.
Oh yeah, because you built,
God
didn't you?
damn.
No, you built, didn't you?
The old house used to be my dad's house, and
Yeah.
that thing was old as all get out. And the basement was sketchy as anything I've ever fucking seen. And eventually my parents had it torn down and they built a new place, I think 10 years ago, somewhere around there. So it's been a new house, but same place.
Mm-hmm.
Same school,
So when you moved to college, what was your first roommate and everything?
See,
And then after that,
I got along with my roommate, but it was fairly easy to because he was never in the room.
oh really?
He never slept there. Like the very first weekend, he went and hung out at his friend's place the entire weekend. Like slept there, all that stuff. Only stopped by every now and then on times when I would be gone.
That's
I
a
thought
good
he was
roommate.
missing, and I texted him because I was legitimately concerned whether or not he was missing.
Well, yeah.
And I just got used to that after a while, and then I lived by myself sophomore year, and I had a really good roommate this last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Noah.
He was really good.
He was a good guy.
Lucas avoids saying name. Kyle immediately name drop.
I fucking say Noah's name.
What about you, Kyle?
Well, I'm trying to think.
I just was waiting for the roommate stories.
Oh yeah, here comes the roommate story.
That's like an entire podcast in itself.
Yeah, so we can do my roommate story like some podcast, but the short version is when I was a kid, like an infant, I know that I lived in some place.
I lived somewhere.
And it was a house, and I know where the house is, but it was just like, long story short, it's this white house, and if you put a marble in the middle of any place in that house, it'd roll to a direction, so it was not level at all.
Right.
That's the only thing that I know and remember.
That's how my room is.
Yeah, the whole fucking house was like that. You know how weird that is to live in a house that's slanted?
Yes.
It's like living in a house of, what is that, pizza or Pisa?
Pisa. The Tower
Pisa.
of Pisa. The Tower of
I
Pisa.
lived in the Tower of Pisa when I grew up.
The Tower of Pizza.
The Tower of Pizza. But after that, the second place I lived, which my favorite house I've ever lived in, was this little tiny house, and I think it was like a 5-room upstairs, and downstairs it was a 1-room, but the 1 room could fill up the 5 rooms.
Okay.
Because it had not been finished yet, but all the carpeting and everything was down.
Oh, okay.
So, like, long story short, they just didn't put up the walls. But the carpet was still, like, down, so, like, it was awesome. Like, you could have a concert down in that basement, and it was just so large. And for a kid, it's fucking crazy.
Well, yeah.
Because you could go down there, and it was
You
like...
do whatever you want.
Run
Like,
anywhere.
I know this won't help our viewers, but our apartment...
Yeah.
Like, if all the walls were gone out of it, and it was just this apartment floor, it was probably about that big.
Oh, that's pretty decent
Yeah,
size, actually.
but a little bit more, like, wider.
Mm-hmm.
It was really, really fun.
For clarity, their apartment has a really good living space, a couple bathrooms, and like 3 bedrooms. So
Yeah,
it's
so-
really good spacing.
Yeah, like, it was...
a kitchen. Caveman.
Yeah.
I was not too sure about that.
It was obviously meant to,
Cavemen don't eat crab.
it was meant to have, like, maybe 3 more people live downstairs than,
Okay.
like, upstairs. But with the whole space open, it was really, really cool, And I think that's why we got it for so cheap.
Yeah.
And then outside, we had a lawn that was, like, probably maybe 1/4 an acre.
Really?
So it was pretty big.
Oh, yeah.
But it was hard to upkeep, and I knew that there was other things. And plus, the place where we did laundry, which was downstairs as well,
Mm-hmm.
that's not including, like, the space that we played in. There was actually 1 bedroom down there, and then that, like, play space, I'm going to call it, I guess, and then the laundry room.
Place.
And the laundry room, like, would fill up with water and stuff like that.
Mm.
And then, with electrical equipment down there
Yeah.
and water, you just never knew if it was safe or not.
Mhm.
And luckily, my dad was, like, a maintenance guy.
Yeah.
And so, like, he knew everything that was up. So, long story short, we moved out of there and moved to kind of like a more stationary house,
Yeah.
which is where my parents still live today. And that house was built like 100 years
Yeah.
ago.
Our house
It's-
is old, too.
It's old as fuck. But, and that's like a 2-story and then a basement.
Okay.
And that's just kind of your stereotypical Iowa house. There's really,
Yeah.
I mean, you both have been in it. It's
Yeah.
literally an
Really
Iowa
nice
house.
Mhm.
And then after that,
we played. What was it? How long
Oh
did we play
my God.
Artemis in there?
yeah, we played
Oh,
Artemis Space.
We
Sim-
bought you a
Sim-
cake
We
that
need
day.
to do that
Oh,
again.
We should play that here, like, end
Yeah,
of summer
we've,
bash.
we've got like a good space for it.
Yeah, and then with Chromecast,
Mhm.
that'd be
should be
cool.
good.
Do
So
we have enough people to play it tonight?
No,
no.
King.
Plus, I want to do it with like.
I don't have it downloaded either.
Yeah,
I had a new
but
laptop, remember?
That's right. I forgot about that.
We won't talk about how we downloaded it, but
It was perfect.
anyway,
Speaking... Oh, well, what were you going to say?
yeah, let me fucking finish my story.
Whoa, man.
God damn.
Hostile.
So then I moved into the place I lived my freshman year for the most of it,
Yeah.
which was with this guy named Tyler.
Woo!
And, yeah, long story short, we didn't get along, and we kind of got into a little bit of a fight.
You should have lived with Damien.
Jesus. But, so we should just do a podcast about my freshman year.
Shit, we could write a book.
Yeah, we could write a book. So
I didn't know you fuckers then.
and then so long story short, we got into a little bit of a physical altercation, and I moved into this guy named Javon.
Who? He's a cool dude.
Dude, I
met him
fucking
twice.
like Javon's like fucking top notch dude. Like such a nice
He
guy.
runs track at UNI, right?
Yeah. So yeah. I wanted to go.
Yeah.
I wanted to go and see one of his games when I get a chance.
Yeah.
But and he was like what you were talking about, but he would only be here like in our living space for maybe once or twice a month.
Okay.
So like it was literally like living alone. I mean
yeah.
like sleeping. So and then from there I moved in to Norn with one of my like best friends who's Abe. And on the first night of living with Abe, I had to call the hospital for alcohol poisoning. But
first night back on campus.
yeah, first night back on campus, I had to call the hospital. So
Jeez.
Party hardy.
and then from there, and we actually, I didn't mind living with Abe. The only part is like, long story short, the only part is his friends and my friends were a little bit unreliable about how he'd come home.
True.
So, like, he was kind of hard to deal with when he was out with friends.
Yeah.
And then
right.
he came back. But then, from there I live here, and
Same.
when I bring people in this place, people, like, are really kind of surprised.
About how clean we keep it?
Well, not how clean we keep it, but just how low the cost is and how good the apartment is.
Yeah.
It's just so nice.
Mm-hmm.
I love living in Cedar Falls.
I just like having that window between the kitchen and the living room.
Yeah,
That's nice.
I like to. What's the one thing called?
See.
like an island.
No. It's when you prop yourself up on something.
Oh,
lean.
bar?
Yeah, I love barring on that all the time.
Yeah. I
I wish
honestly-
honestly we were a little lower,
yeah.
so we could set bar stools up.
I wish we did have a bar, honestly.
Oh, everybody. Does.
I tend it.
I tend it.
No. No, the last time that happened.
Whoa! Wait, what do you mean the last time that happened?
At the one party we took.
Yeah. What's so bad?
It didn't go bad.
Hey, go
It
back
wasn't
up.
used! People just
What do you
drink
mean it
beer.
wasn't used? I used the blender.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh,
I made a ton of drinks.
I don't remember cleaning
A
it.
ton of them.
You made me a drink.
I did. I made you a good drink.
It was pretty good.
It was fantastic.
I remember one, you just poured his beer out into a glass.
Oh yeah, and I put an orange on it. It was Blue
Oh.
Moon. You can't drink it without an orange.
Yeah.
Oh! I forgot about that too, though. I'm just like, why
But-
did you just pour
Come on,
his
man.
beer out?
Yeah,
It's just like
man,
you could have had it
Neanderthal.
from the bottle.
What was the martini you made me?
I made you an appletini, and I had a brown. Instead of like salt around the edge, it was powder or not powder. It was cinnamon sugar.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
really, really good.
Mhm.
But
I just remember drinking beer all that night.
Well, I mean, I drank a lot of beer that night, but
I had to bring my martini glass that you gave me.
I have 3.
I know.
You
But
used it for jelly beans that one time.
I did use it for jelly.
What?
Did you not ever see that picture?
No.
I spent I'm weak. I spent $14 on 2 pounds of jelly beans, and I just filled it with they're margarita flavored ones in the bag. So I was just like, I'm just gonna pour all these in a martini glass, and it was on my birthday, so I was like, happy birthday to me.
Oh my god, I didn't know that you did that.
It was kind of funny.
It was a
Just
good
little
time.
bit.
Did it taste good?
I just put them back in the bag. I just took it for a picture.
Oh really?
Because I'm a loser.
XD.
Oh man.
Well,
So
it is about time that we wrap up this podcast.
Well,
I'll
I'll allow it.
We'll say our Twitter handles again.
Again.
Again!
In fact, I've only done
Every
that
show.
once.
Uh,
Oh, At
Yep,
Andy
you said
Heidemann. I say it every time. I'm super fucking lucky. I got this. At Andy Heidemann.
Yeah.
I'm glad
spell,
I snagged
spell
it.
Heidemann though.
Yeah.
Heidemann.
Slower for the listeners, please. I was joking.
Heidemann.
I don't know what you
Lucas, you ass.
My Twitter handle is YOLO #Cal Life.
I don't think that's right.
That's not right.
No.
Somebody
I
could
don't
find
have-
there's no
I don't have a
ads.
Twitter handle.
Either way. Mine is at Culture Pop Lucas.
Sweet. I forgot those existed.
And this is Kyle Restad. Fuck the world.
Fuck.
Woo!